last year. Yeah, just the thing that we want to see or something. You know, at least I'm hoping for the best this year for all the companies because I want games.
Yeah. Well, I am recording.
Very well. All right, let me go to a quiet place. There's a lot of fans here. Not fans as fanatics. It's fan of, you know what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey Zyber, does your computer run Windows 10?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
All right. Recording, right?
Yes.
Well, so let's see. Before I start, what I really want for this E3 prediction. Not what I really want. It's just my predictions, our predictions. But hoping for the best for each of the companies that are going to present to the press conference this year on E3. Um, so yeah, why don't you guys start like always, and we start warming up and develop this conversation further on. Who wants to start?
I can start.
Cool.
I'm not sure how far I'll spin off into it, but thinking a little bit about what we'll see this year, the thing that I think is the safest prediction I could possibly make is Red Dead Redemption is going to be shown off.
Oh yeah.
Super finally. In fact, I like to think that that's going to be like for the Sony press conference. That's going to be like the big, huge game they show at the end.
There's been quite a few teasers already, haven't there? Like here and there.
Mm-hmm. Pictures and everything. But the reason why I'm just that sure of that is because I thought it had a release date for this fall of this year potentially. But I wasn't too sure of that. Otherwise, a lot of everything just seems kind of like rumor mill stuff. That's kind of fun to speculate about, like in the world of Nintendo, for example. Thanks to another beloved YouTuber to inform me of such rumor things, Boogie2988 as my source, says that he came across a rumor that there's development for 2 different Metroid games. And the sky's the limit with that. I think that's quite plausible. In general, like it seems like unfortunately rumors have more weight to them in this day and age than they used to, thanks to the internet. Thanks to the right people having access to the internet to leak such things. So I like to think that's been plausible. It's certainly been long enough, and I'm certainly hopeful for that. In the world
of last Metroid game.
Oh gosh, it's been way too long. It would be Other M, but like a 2D Metroid, I thought would have been Zero Mission on the Game Boy Advance. That has to be over 10 years ago.
Damn, yeah.
Not too sure.
Yeah.
And we want it. So my hope's up there. So I think that's quite plausible. Nintendo themselves has also said that we're guaranteed to see Super Mario Odyssey. Again, makes perfect sense. That's also coming out this fall, that they want to show that off. I'm hopeful on the Nintendo side of things, just because the release window for this year is a bit sparse. It's not terrible, but it is a little sparse, understandably so. It's a new system. But we know that developers really love the Switch, and that there's a refreshed, renewed love for Nintendo because of the Switch.
It seems like the Switch is one of the easier consoles to develop for now as well.
People love their mobile stuff. It has a really strong install base already. So we knew even before it was coming out, developers were saying how much they enjoyed working with it. And compatibility tools like the fact they can handle Unreal Engine and everything.
Mhm.
Just opens that up a whole lot more. Oh, let's see. I'm not sure what else I could spin off onto. So I guess to give me a moment to think and breathe, I'll pass it off to somebody else.
Okay. I'll talk for a bit. I don't know if I should say everything I'm about to talk about is like predictions more than like what I want to see. But I'll just talk like a bit about both. Obviously, I want to see more things for the Nintendo Switch. It's a new console, and of course, we expect it to be as you know sparse as it is. Right now, like recently released, like what 2 months ago, almost 3 months now, and of course, it wouldn't have as many games right now out. But I would like to see more AAA titles on it. Stuff like Breath of the Wild, because I love all the indie stuff on it though, but the Switch definitely needs more confirmed titles, and I don't really want to see stuff like Skyrim, which is just like recycling old material. It will be cool getting Skyrim on the Switch, but I want to see new original content, so I want to see more of that stuff from developers. We do know that there's possibly going to be a new Far Cry coming out, because there was a leaked logo and whatnot.
And Assassin's Creed, right?
Yeah, and Assassin's Creed. That all we know is that there's sailboats. Woo.
Oh yeah, I thought I was hearing rumors of Assassin's Creed set in Egypt and Far Cry in the Old West or something.
Yeah, I really don't know. It's all we know is just like there's like one screenshot of like you can barely see the land of like what's going on in the background, and someone's on a sailboat. But that'll be cool. It's another Assassin's Creed game. I really don't know what they can innovate on it right now. There's been so many, It's kind of like the next Call of Duty, in a way. But I know that there's a big following for Assassin's Creed, so if you enjoy that, that'll be fun. Bethesda might reveal some Wolfenstein and Evil Within.
Finally an Evil Within sequel.
Yeah, Evil Within
Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah, Beyond Good and Evil. The last Evil Within, I don't know if it did really well. I heard that like it started off strong and then kind of like as the story progressed, didn't do very well. So maybe this will be better.
I got that confused. That's Ubisoft too?
No, this is
Evil Within.
This is Bethesda.
Oh, Bethesda. Okay, I'm sorry. I got it confused with Beyond Good and Evil, which people had wanted the sequel to that for a stupid long time. Also,
yeah. I don't know if people wanted a sequel for the Evil Within. To be honest, I thought for both Wolfenstein and Evil Within, I thought they were just done with it. I didn't think they were big enough to guarantee a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Xbox, Scorpio, and PS4, hopefully we'll see more 4K games out of them and stuff that can really pull out all the potential out of them, especially with a PS Pro. I do want to see way more VR. Like after that's what I was just about to say. After they came out, it's been kind of silent. It's like they came out with like some strong, quote unquote strong stuff at the very beginning was VR, and now at least Sony's treating it like it's like the PlayStation Move and their other stuff where they're not doing very well with it.
Yeah.
And then the Vive, we haven't seen much from that. It'd be cool to see if Microsoft got into the VR game. I don't know. I mean, they got the Kinect, and they were pushing that for a long time. So
the Kinect fail, man.
Yeah, but they would probably do. They'd probably do what Sony did. If there's one prediction I'd have to make, it would probably be that would be like the highlight for Microsoft. That they'd be like, hey, we're doing VR as well, and we're using Kinect. That would probably just about be it.
And like Xbox already interfaced with Oculus.
And they probably wouldn't punch the PS4 as much as probably the Vive and be like, the Vive requires 2 or 3 cameras. This one you only need the the Kinect.
Mm.
I don't know.
Mhm.
But anyway, oh, Death Stranding. We
yes.
might finally actually
one.
see like maybe a new teaser, and I would like to
And,
see our
and
release
a date.
date. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a date. Jesus, that.
We've been teased that for so long. Do you think it's likely we might see a release date this year?
I think we'd get a release date this year,
Yeah.
but I would not be confident in it. I would expect a few delays.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Um,
like always.
yeah. Expect like 2 delays.
Yeah.
And I'm making my prediction for 2019. That's,
Okay.
Damn.
That's
Damn,
gonna be the
man,
release
that's way
date.
too long. At
This
least
is
next year.
yeah, I mean this is Hideo Kojima's like first big giant release as his own standalone studio. He might have logistics of figuring things out.
I don't think Kojima's not a fan of delaying stuff.
We're gonna say I'm saying with all the delays, it might be up to 2019, maybe a little bit before in 2018, but yeah,
Yeah.
just watch. If I don't care if I'm wrong, but if years from now it happens, in 2018 and they announce another delay, I'm gonna be like, I said it, May 17th, I said it. Anyway,
Yeah.
earlier I mentioned the Switch and how I wanted to see more games for it. I know there's people speculating about Smash Bros for the Switch. That's
Yeah.
like a mandatory title that has to come out. It's been on every big Nintendo console, all the way since the N64. They've made it, and so I kind of don't want to see just a Smash 4 remake, but at the same time I do, because Smash 4 was so good, and I loved a lot of the characters, but I just want to see a new roster, basically.
Oh boy.
And that would be pretty hard to do. But
Man, I was pretty good about reading up on Masahiro Sakurai's end of things through different interviews. He's an amazing game designer. So I like actually reading interviews like that, hearing his side of things. He works so freaking hard, harder than most people do, to try and make tons of people happy in conjunction with the injury that he has. It isn't quite tendonitis. It's something even more severe than that. It's like in his shoulder and affects his hand. So some days he was even playtesting Smash Bros with just one hand. Kind of bad. Anyhow, he works really, really freaking hard. So I know I would love more Smash Bros just as much as everybody else, but I feel like that guy deserves even more of a break than that. So as a big Smash fan, I too would also like to see Smash come to the Switch, but I'd be accepting of it getting, like the deluxe treatment.
yeah, I'd be okay
that
with
standard Game of the Year edition that comes with the DLC and the stages.
that. Yeah.
I mean, hopefully, our existing Wii U, GameCube adapters would be able to plug in to the Switch dock, and we'd still be able to continue to play in that manner as well.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
people would actually freak out if it didn't work.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I mean, I like, I know that he's very passionate about the game, and so he'd probably want to test out every bit of it himself. But maybe, like, I don't know about passing the flag, but just like maybe just supervising it, or I don't know.
People would like to see him pass the torch.
Yeah.
As well. But yeah, he feels like he needs to be controlling over it. And hey, you know what? He's an incredible game designer. I'm kind of okay with that. But
Yeah.
I I love Smash Bros. Dude, speaking in that regard, with the GameCube controller adapters, like, they would have something really special if they took this year's E3 and they're like, hey, Virtual Console and Virtual Console GameCube, and you can play with the adapter your GameCube games.
Right.
Anyway, Switch would be an amazing thing, or not Switch, Smash.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have to wait and see, I guess. A lot of people have obviously, like, even before the Switch came out, they've been talking about Pokemon Stars.
Yeah.
And that's, like, completely rumors. There hasn't even been pictures or anything. It's just fan art and whatnot. I almost feel like Nintendo wouldn't make it a thing, but I would sure hope for it.
Yeah, they did Yellow.
Yeah,
Yellow
they
was just
did.
an amalgamation of red and blue. Like that's how I see it in my head.
Yeah. And then I'm sure people aren't excited for this as much. I mean, there's probably a cult or whatever, but Star Wars Battlefront 2 apparently is gonna appear at E3.
Yay.
But this one has a single player campaign.
Yeah.
Yay.
But yeah, that's not really prediction. I mean, we could predict how well it does. It'll probably do good this time. But the first one kind of hurt it pretty badly. It was like, you know, just. I mean, it's EA. It's EA, guys. It's like a lot of purchases to be made. DLC, incomplete game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know they're gonna spend most of their press conference talking about sports anyhow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It's just tons
Guaranteed
of sports. There's gonna be awkward, professional like MLG players up there, and they're gonna have sports injuries, and they're gonna say awkward stuff to each other. It's like, oh yeah, I broke this at my grandma's house. Yeah.
You remember that E3 when they made a big deal about like the football managers actually being in the game? Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
And they had one of the managers up on stage. Free idea, EA, for PlayStation 4. Let us use our PlayStation VR headsets to see through the eyes of
the managers. Oh, the football player.
We can be in the crowd.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You can have that one for free, EA. Free money.
I can tell you what else on the line of like just cliche like E3 performances and whatnot. Ubisoft will definitely have some other reenactment or whatever. Well, they'll have another Just Dance for the Switch.
Every year they get a little bit worse and worse for me to watch.
No, we're gonna have the lady that no one likes talking about the games.
And all those tweet from their own people because they're like, oh yeah, just press hashtag and we post your tweet on the screen. Yeah, right. Those are employees from your side. Always like, oh yeah, how
Planted.
cool this game is.
Planted, yeah.
I'm like, this is all scripted.
Yeah.
Oh,
how can we trust you after that Wildlands trailer? You think we think that was real? You think we think that was real gameplay that was like uncoordinated? No. If that was fake, what about your tweets?
That's right
here, man. And I'm like, so are you done, Shinja?
I'm pretty much done. I'm rambling now.
Okay. I really do not want to turn this into a rant. Yeah, I really don't. But I'll try my best because I really want all of these companies to give us, their best. Such as Ubisoft, EA, Bethesda, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. If I'm not missing anyone else, I think that's pretty much it, I guess.
Bring on the rant. My favorite thing about Zyber ranting is Usually, there's a part where he's just like the freaking game. And then he's like,
Oh, you will see that. Yeah. Yeah. So starting off, what I really want to see is Quake, the new Quake.
Yeah.
Champions.
Dude,
Yes,
isn't it? Aren't the like servers for that like horrible? I saw like a short video for like the beta, and it was just like immense lag everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like bad.
Well,
But that this is just a
just have to
beta.
wait and see, because
Mhm.
I can rant on that too. Um, so what's the other thing? You already said it. Death Stranding from Sony. Um, let's see. Uh, from Sony, I really don't expect much. Just new games and more games. That's all I want. At least a DLC for Horizon Zero Dawn, at least. Because people are asking for more DLC from it.
Yeah.
Because we all know that even damn it, I forgot the genre. Um,
Open world.
Single player games. Yeah, single player games could still have DLCs.
Oh yeah,
Um,
duh.
Of course.
For sure.
Going on. Nintendo. I want to see more of that ARMS. It's pretty cool. It's I
Doesn't
yeah,
that
Cyber-
come out a little bit before?
think so.
It's this summer, and I'd like to add that there's a Nintendo Direct just today, all about ARMS. At the
Oh
time of
yeah, I
recording
saw
this.
the live
Yeah.
stream. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Me too, dude.
Yeah, I've been on up to date that game. I really like it. What else? I don't know in what conference uh that performance will be as for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I really want to see more characters and what do they have there. Because all we've seen is just Mega Man. And
Yeah, the roster's looking pretty
Rio.
small and all that, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And you know that, I mean, I think the most biggest roster in most fighting games is this one, besides Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
So they have to step it up because there's a lot of fighting games that come in this summer, such as Tekken 7. It already came out on Injustice 2, and for the third one will be Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Dude, for that game though, I'm really excited to see Ultron Sigma.
Ultron, yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
what
me too.
the fuck? That like makes
Oh, yeah,
perfect
man.
sense.
Mhm.
All they
Yeah,
gotta
it
do
really
is throw
does.
the Zero virus in there, and it's like, oh my god.
Let's see what else. EA, of course. People are just waiting for uh, a Battlefront. Because people don't care a shit of Need for Speed or whatever it is. Oh man, EA. I think.
Is there a new Need for Speed coming out? I thought they dropped that ages ago.
No idea.
They could make it. It's EA. Maybe they just want more FIFA. Oh yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
Freaking FIFA. Yeah. You know that FIFA is really popular in Europe.
Yeah,
And,
and South America too.
Yeah. That's why they do it, because here in North and Central America, it's kind of wacky.
I
I mean,
I'm sure there's a fan base, but
yeah, there's fans. There's totally fans, but come on.
I think there has to be some good money coming out of those games because they make them
course.
yearly, so there
Yeah,
has
they
to
do.
be pretty
Like
good
a
money
fucking
coming
Call
out
of
of
Duty
those
game.
games. Yeah.
What else? As for Ubisoft, I really want to see that new Assassin's Creed. And what's the other game? What's the other game? There's a- What's the other game?
Oh no. Well, while you think about that, I just thought of another game that I've been hearing rumors about forever, and it'd be cool to see. Borderlands 3.
Hey,
Yeah, I heard
yes.
rumors of that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's from 2K though. Yeah.
they've had very little short like segments showing it off, or not
Well,
like Borderlands
after
3, but
Battleborn.
like
Well, yeah, after
yeah,
Battleborn and yeah.
yeah, they should not release a Battleborn 2 or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
I I, I,
That's gonna be another fail.
I think people would be more excited for new, Borderlands.
Yeah. Um, what else? I really, since all E3 are just like friendly for everyone. Um, Before I go to that, I have to talk about Microsoft. For the Scorpio, I want to see instead of freaking specs, instead of you know the hardware. We already know about the hardware. I just want to see the freaking console and want to see what it could actually do playing games besides Forza. Um, so it's kind of like bothering me a little bit, but Microsoft it's going to the uh, kind of like the good direction. But they totally need games. They need games. They need games.
Yeah. I was surprised.
Um,
I was looking at their game list the other day, and the Xbox One doesn't have a lot of exclusives,
Even the
or
Dreamcast
a lot
have
of
more
good
games.
exclusives, I should say, or not even exclusives, just games in general. I was just looking at like a list online, and I was like, "Oh, these aren't as many games as I would have expected the Xbox One to
That's
have."
why people are really pissed off about Microsoft and you know getting angry at fanboys defending Microsoft. But Microsoft, the Xbox does not have exclusivity. They just only have like third party, just like Ghost Recon, uh, Call of Duties. Those. You know,
I feel
Even
like
Red Dead
the
Redemption is coming for all platforms. I mean,
yeah, I felt
um,
like the last good uh uh exclusive they released was Recore, and I didn't even get to play much of that, but that's one of the games that I wanted to buy an Xbox One for.
I had a lot of
we,
promise, yeah.
you know, talking about first single player games. I mean, I really want to see more single player games from Xbox, but the comment and the tweet that Phil Spencer said 2 weeks ago kind of like worries me a bit because we might not see single player games on the Xbox.
What
Maybe
was the
single
comment he made?
player games slash multiplayer, but um, it worries me because
Mm.
I really want the Xbox to be a little bit more single player and more story driven games instead of like just shooters all the time and multiplayer games. They need more MMO too.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, he started comparing my Warcraft with the Destiny because that
Oh,
Destiny is a really good. It's not. I really hated Destiny, and
Hmm.
their predictions were, oh yeah, this is gonna be like 5 year a service playing online, and that never happened. And it worries me that because most of these multiplayer games that they show, they don't last that long. Because I don't see it. Doing what some of them do well. such as Overwatch, other, but those are hero shooters, not like a MOBA, MMO, multiplayer RPG. Those things. Um, but when you start comparing stuff with old stuff, that it's Warcraft with the new stuff, I mean, there's two different games here. I mean,
They
one is MMO
yeah.
RPG and one is MMO shooter, which it didn't actually felt like it.
It just felt like a really
Um,
big shooter. It tried to be Borderlands, um, but
it's
No
yeah,
personality, really.
they work mechanically different. It's hard to compare to the two, really. Like
yeah.
they tell the story differently. The way you play the game completely is different. Not to mention Warcraft is humongous because of the many years it's been out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even start comparing Destiny to it, where like, it had a huge paywall and the stuff for PC didn't. Like, I don't know if it ever came out, you know.
No.
And now they're
No.
working on Destiny 2, supposedly. So yeah, I don't
And
know.
they are assuming that it's going to last at least 10 years.
The service for it.
Yeah. I'm like, guys, stop it. Stop it.
Yeah, I don't know. I do know some people that are huge fans of Destiny. That's like
Yeah.
basically all they played when it came out. I don't
Yeah,
know.
they totally have their fan base. Because, you know, a lot of people did like it at first. I didn't like it at first. I was like, uh, it seems like Halo not trying to be another game.
This doesn't even
Uh,
feel like Halo really at some
Mhm.
points.
well, yeah, you guys have a point there.
Kind of feels
Um,
it kind of feels like one of the newer Call of Duties, if I'm to be honest. Like
yeah,
with
it
all the graphics and what.
start ripping off. Yeah. So the thing is that for this E3, I want something. I want some games. I want games that last. Because games every year like Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, uh, it gets boring. Um, at least they. I know Overwatch is not going to do another Overwatch 2 for quite some time because of the popularity it has and the fan base they made. But what's the point of having a sequel that a game never had a single player campaign in the game?
I get you. I get you.
Yeah,
You know,
I know it's um uh games could last, but that's the developers choices. Um, if they want to progress the franchise. Um, what other thing?
you make a good
Uh,
point, Cyber. Was all that like games don't age well as they used to. Like you can pull some
yeah,
really good games from like back in maybe even PS2 era or early PS3 era, and they've like aged well. They've done really well. You can play a lot of it even up to this day, and kind of
yeah.
you know
I mean, putting Gears of War in the line, uh, I really want to see another Gears of War because of the story, because I like the characters in it, because there's a history behind those characters. That's a reason to make sequels and make money out of those games. So having the story and the single player uh, campaign right there, even though you can play also co-op in a campaign, which that's what I really like, co-op. But campaign during the story, that's what makes a really durable game franchise. Um, Unlike the Call of Duties, because they're different. Because They just jump on future, then they're going back to World War II. Um, Different characters. We never, well, only Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2. We had cool characters there, but then they just throw them out and just kept on moving towards multiplayer, and forget about the campaign. The campaign should be 4 hours long. You know, it's kind of bothering. Because I know that consoles are advancing. There's consoles should be durable also. They cannot be with these mid-gen console, back and forth, new upgrades. I know that the Scorpio is an upgrade. It's not an actual next gen console. That's what they say, but I mean it's way too powerful than the base Xbox One. So um, I want to see this E3 that the games or the product, the consoles that are going to present, at least last, because we all know in the last gen, it was the seventh generation of consoles. It lasted like it started 2006 until 2013, 14 maybe 13. That's quite a long time.
Yeah, they
But
lasted
if
a
we
while.
Yeah, but if we see in the 90s, the PlayStation and the PlayStation 2, it was like 5 years old when the PlayStation 2 came out back in the 99 in Japan. So we could tell, okay, back in the days, it was like advancing pretty quick uh, because, developers wanted, you know, uh, the gamers to have uh,
The
their
full
updated games.
experience.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
full experience back in the days. So we could we could say that okay, back in the days they used to do this, but comparing to last generation, which lasts a long time. I mean, even PC was underpowered, but then that turned around, and PC came a little bit more advanced within the time, and they totally need to get the consoles up to date, competing with the hardware. But it wasn't that way. Uh, it was a total disaster um, for the hardware on all three consoles, as Nintendo, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4 were totally underpowered uh, compared to a PC that time. Right now, that is why they're making these type of upgrades as a Pro. Switch is another generation of console, and the Scorpio. But if those things aren't gonna last, like um, you know, this cannot be like Apple
Oh yeah.
or Samsung
I
because they
really don't want it
upgraded
to be.
phone. No, really, it's really annoying. I'd rather just play with a PC and upgrade, the graphics card, upgrade the RAM, which is a lot cheaper than buying a freaking console. You know, and I'm a multi-plat gamer, and I can say that uh, that Sony will fuck up, that Microsoft will fuck up, even even Steam will fuck up because they fuck up a lot of time. Um, Nintendo will, but at the same time, they just have to step it up because the competition is it's really tight. And if they keep on doing these upgrades, I mean, as a consumer, I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna wait and see. I'm just gonna wait and let's see if this product is worth buying. I'd rather stay with a PC. Other than the exclusivity, that is why Nintendo has been very smart through all these years. because of the exclusivity that they have, something that Microsoft does not have today, and it's bothering me a lot. Um, so I really want to hear you guys. Besides of um, uh, getting the prediction of E3, Phil Spencer is going to speak in this E3. What would you expect him to say? Because he's been talking a lot on Twitter. It worries me that the Xbox is going to another route without single player games. It's not that the single player games are going to disappear, but his mentality is telling me that, well, those type of gamers are not allowed in the Xbox. You know, what do you guys think?
He's gonna
What
just
do you?
he's just gonna say how great and powerful Scorpio is, and that's how what everybody wants.
Basically.
Like he did last year. So it's gonna be a lot of dribble like that, if you ask me. At best, he's been quite apologetic for not embracing PC as much. So maybe he'll have some new things to show off with how Xbox will interact with the PC. And maybe at best we'll maybe see some more HoloLens stuff in the realm of gaming. Maybe
HoloLens. I think that disappeared, man.
that's the kind of thing
Even
it did.
talking about that.
It'll have its own like little panel, and they're gonna show off Minecraft again. Was it? That's
Do
the
Minecraft
most.
again.
With the Scorpio.
That would be just as cringy as it was.
Yeah. No. A lot of the big company people's like CEOs and whatnot, and I'm not talking about just Microsoft here. This is like Sony as well, and others. They do a magnificent job at saying so much, but at the same time saying nothing. It's like what Dan just said. It's gonna be a lot of like, oh man, like Xbox does so well. Look at these great games we're gonna look forward to, and he's gonna say whatever games you've already seen or you know that are gonna come out. And I don't think he's actually gonna say anything. He might say
Yep.
like one little thing of like, oh yeah, and like this like Kinect's coming back, maybe upgraded version. I don't know, and that's people are gonna get triggered.
Red Dead Redemption is coming to Xbox with exclusive DLC that you get 1 week before Sony does.
You
Yeah.
can use the character with the Kinect.
But yeah, like I said, like all these CEO type of guys, they do a magnificent job at just rambling on without actually saying anything of significance. Everyone like dials out, like they just disconnect at the point when these guys are talking, because it's. I can tell you for sure they're not going to talk about movies again. They've like after the initial Xbox One announcement, they've stopped mentioning movies and home theater system and whatnot. Anyway,
Yeah.
Netflix.
you
At
get an
best-
exclusive version of Netflix.
Yeah. Again, at best, I expect more transparency of what we'll get from PC out of it. Also.
Yeah.
Man, I really want transparency from all these companies. I just hate when they lie, because they're all part of it, such as Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft. They do. They like say something and they're like, wait, wasn't this coming this like, or they just say something and
Mm-hmm.
it comes out of nowhere and never comes out, or maybe it's a delay. It happens a lot on last year. If they know, I don't know, because they say, and this is on Sony's side, because they do lie. There's, I don't know, because every time they say something will be released, so at some point, some day, they supposed to know
Look,
if the game is ready or not.
this is
And then
what.
I'm talking about exclusivities. I'm talking
Yeah,
about exclusives. I'm like,
Mhm.
guys, please, just tell us the truth.
yeah. Look, this is what happens. These CEO guys. So not only are they drunk on money, because you know they obviously have very high positions of power. They're drunk on fame, and basically they love getting their dick sucked. Um, and so whatever they're up there, I think sometimes they go off the script. You know, they're not actually
Yeah.
like, because like you know Dan and I, we've worked in media and we know it, that like, oh yeah, there's like a specific script you're supposed to follow, you know, roughly stay on this, and then the person on stage just they suddenly be like, oh, by the way, this is coming, and everyone's like, what the fuck, man, you weren't supposed to say that, no one actually
Yeah,
knows, it's
yeah.
not confirmed.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so, and why do they do it? Because they love getting their dick sucked by the crowd when they're like, "Oh my god, you said what?"
Yeah, they just
You want my?
yeah because
It's like,
I will always say this. You know, the most of the press there are fanboys,
they're
such
just,
as Microsoft fanboys, Nintendo fanboys, and Sony ponies.
dude,
They're all freaking fanboys.
this podcast is about to become not safe for work. They're just there in the crowd with their mouth open, waiting to get jizzed on. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
Dude, I have a chocolate shake, and the last thing that's in here is whipped cream, dude.
You're just gonna have to deal with it. Take it like a Sony fanboy or Microsoft
Sony
fanboy.
pony. Sony pony.
Anyway,
You know,
um, yeah, that's my rant.
yeah, that's another thing. Sometimes I don't know if because the press do ask some questions, not in the presentation, but after it. Um, but most of them are freaking YouTubers, not the actual press from Kotaku. Because press from Kotaku is extremely slow sometimes, such as IGN. Um, Getting the information of the game. We get information from of the game from Pro Jared, Angry Joe, um, YouTubers. I'm like, come on, people.
Mm.
How many press are in those freaking conferences? It's a freaking
Well,
lot.
it's a whole bunch, but like I don't know how
Yeah.
many are actually like, you know,
Fanboys.
I don't know how many are reputable,
Yeah.
like news sources. I wouldn't even call Kotaku a reputable, you know, news source.
I still check them every day. Bless their hearts, they try.
Game Informer is another slow poke sometimes. GameSpot is also. But yeah, E3 2017. I would like them to be transparent, new games, durable consoles. And please, don't lie. Don't lie with those freaking microtransactions. Don't. I hate microtransactions. Just give us DLCs. A full game. Please. Give us full games. We pay $60 for them.
Yep.
Yeah, $60 plus tax.
Stop
50
bullshitting us, EA.
Mm.
Oh yeah,
I'm looking at you too, Ubisoft
with Just Dance.
and Activision. Yeah, dude, I can't wait for the new Just Dance DLC. Man, did you see they added my favorite song? Never Gonna Let You Go.
I had to check real quick because
Yeah.
I was also briefly thinking about, what are some things that I would just straight up like to see at E3 this year. I had to double check. Shenmue 3 is still showing a release date of
Oh, yeah.
December of this year.
Yeah.
But we've
So
not
I'm
seen
thinking-
anything of it, have we?
Yeah. Not really, no.
There's footage. There's footage of the environment and the open world a little bit, but yeah, not footage. This
hoping-
actually a video. This actually a video. Only released in Japan though.
Yeah, I hope they show a lot more at E3 because you'd feel
I
like
hope we
they'd
get
be like with the last time they showed it off at E3. You feel like they'd be tooting that horn way more.
Yeah. I get the
Unless
Kickstarter page.
if they don't forget about Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, that actually finally got a release date, didn't it? Like a while ago.
Did it? I have no idea.
It was
It
like
never did. Man.
it was-
Don't lie to yourself.
I thought it was supposedly
no, man,
Chris
there was never a release
like
date.
December this year.
Red Dead
no,
Red.
there was
come out.
never.
before Kingdom
Let's-
Hearts.
Even Red Dead Redemption was
okay,
about this year,
so
and
I
it's
think
coming this year.
I think Google's lying to me, or someone's lying, because I'm typing in Kingdom Hearts 3 release date. I'm not even done, and it's already like March 29th, 2012. I'm like, yeah?
Damn.
No, that's not true. It's giving me the release date for Kingdom Hearts 3D. Okay, then.
So yeah, expecting not a trailer, expecting a gameplay, and a solid release date. Because I know it's coming for both consoles, Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Yeah, like release date December 31st, 2017, supposedly.
Oh man. I think Square Enix has its own press conference, right?
They have like their block.
But they sometimes do their Square Enix. They didn't do it last year, but they do have their press conferences.
Yeah, I actually have a tentative schedule that I've had pulled up while we've been talking. And they have before, but I'm not seeing Square Enix. Ubisoft doesn't even have themselves scheduled yet. So it's just the usual
Right.
suspects right now.
Okay.
We're there? Anyway. So,
Anyway.
yeah, I guess that's pretty much it that's going on at E3.
So
Yeah,
I'm looking
of
forward to
course, yeah.
Shenmue 3. I think there's a good
Shenmue
shot at
3,
us
yeah.
seeing that.
Yeah, I really want that game because I'm really a fan of Shenmue.
Yep.
So yeah. Anything else, guys? Before we close this podcast.
New Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Switch Animal Crossing.
I don't know how much I want to talk about this, but I want to see something like some new mobile stuff from Sony.
What, for
Vita?
the Vita?
Maybe a sequel to the Vita. I think the Vita's old enough that it like something newer should come out. Something newer, more powerful, closer to the Switch.
Mm.
Dude, are you looking to that fake article?
No, I'm just like this is coming out of my
it's
butt right
fake
now.
article.
No, look. Even if there is a fake article, I am probably thinking of the same, or in the same realm as whoever wrote that article. I'm not looking up. I'm just saying that I would like to see, like, Sony do stuff with their handheld, because I've heard a lot of stuff about them giving up on the handheld, and I believe it. Like, it's been really quiet on the Vita side. Like, they used to be talking all the time, like, oh yeah, we're gonna make the PS4 and the Vita like one, basically. Like, you're gonna have so many games where like the Vita's gonna unlock so much potential for the thing, and the Vita has so much hidden potential, and then they've been quiet with it for a long time. They've not said anything, so it's either dead or, you know, hopefully
No,
they're coming with
They
something
still
new.
release new games for the Vita.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's true.
I haven't seen any game that makes me be like, oh yeah, the game like I'm getting a Vita for this game. Like it's been a while. Like a lot of them are like ports, like not even that great. That don't
Yeah.
they don't tell me like like oh yeah I would get this game on my Vita rather than on my PS4. You know.
You just made a good point there, because just as I mentioned earlier, exclusivity sells the freaking console.
Yeah.
Something that I will buy for it. If there's a game for that specific console, I'll buy that console
Yeah.
because of that game.
The Vita hasn't had a whole bunch of like exclusives that like had like at the beginning it had quite a few exclusives that sold it pretty well. In its longer years, it hasn't had a whole bunch. In fact, it's had a bunch of 3DS games ported to it, and that's cool if you never owned the game, but it doesn't sell you the handheld because like it was on the DS, or the 3DS. So
Right.
yeah, I want to see like for a long time they did like PSP 1, PSP 2, PSP 3, and then they had the Go. I want to see something like that maybe, but I actually want to see like actual like hardware upgrade for the Vita because it's been out for a long time now. Like I'm sure it can get much more powerful than it is now, and I don't know about competing with the Switch, but like we could get something better.
Yeah, I mean, Sony, knowing Sony for a long time, I mean, I know they're focusing the VR. They're still releasing new games for the VR. Hope they don't focus too much on the VR, because people are really gonna get pissed off. But it's good to get games for the VR, because if you want the VR to be successful, you still need exclusivity for that type of thing. Um, so if a sequel is coming for the Vita as a handheld, I mean, Sony's gonna have like three freaking. I mean, there's the PlayStation 4, uh, sequel to the Vita, and the VR. That's three hardwares right there, man.
Technically two, but yeah.
VR is still a hardware, man.
I mean, I know it's
You
still
know,
hardware,
you
but
know, it costs like $300. It's still a hardware.
it's $400. I almost bought one the other day, but um, you still need a PlayStation 4 to use it, which is my like point.
Oh
With
yeah,
this.
it's still, it's still pricey.
It's like half a hardware.
For consumers, it's like, okay, buying a VR, PlayStation 4, then a sequel to a Vita. It's
Yeah.
what else Sony wants.
Yeah.
They might have to get their money back. And what making Sony really successful today is the PlayStation 4. But Sony's not looking good on TVs, or what's the other thing? Cameras, more or less.
They
But the
do
rest
pretty
is
well on
just like,
cameras.
yeah, they do pretty well on cameras, but at the same time, it's um, really Sony needs to focus more on the games and go release on the games. Because if they focus on the hardware, oh man, that's gonna be another fail, man. I know we like handhelds, we like portable stuff because we're on the go, we're working, something to compete with the Switch. But yeah, it's the hardware. It takes a lot of money, takes a lot of time. It's hard. It's hard. It's not impossible for Sony because they're used to it. At the same time, it's like they need the money to get that working.
Like they could do it. They were so close. Like the whole streaming your PS4 to your Vita, that was genius. Like the fact
Oh
that
yeah, man.
like
Really
I was
good.
able to play like all my PS4 games on my Vita like through the internet, and like if I could get that working seamlessly and perfect like with an upgraded Vita, like I could actually play my
Anyway,
PS4 games anywhere on my Vita, and they're like two separate consoles, kind of like the Switch. Like like the Switch is really cool in that like you can take it with you everywhere, but it like the specs on the hardware are kind of inferior to the PlayStation 4. make a Vita that's like like on par to the Switch, but then it can also connect to your PS4, and you know you can take it anywhere. I'd buy that because if it meant literally playing my PS4 games anywhere, yeah, that would be enough for me.
You got a really solid point there. So,
But this is
before
me going to like really like this is like my wildest dreams. Like I almost have no faith in them really.
of course, I mean, people are gonna call us both Sony ponies, but yeah. Oh, you Sony ponies, fanboy, you're rooting for Sony.
Dude,
Xbox the best.
I don't care who does it. I just want
Xbox.
I just want all the games that come for like these specific consoles. Just I enjoy all these games. Like so
Yeah,
I want them everywhere.
yeah, man. So, Officer Dan, any last words?
No, I suppose not. I was thinking of stuff that I would want, and I just want Animal Crossing. I was playing Mario Kart. I was playing Mario Kart the other day, and there's an Animal Crossing course in that. I'm like, if I could have an Animal Crossing game that looks like as beautiful as it does in
Yeah.
Mario Kart 8, my mind would explode. Oh, how awesome it'd be! I guess I have a small imagination.
Well, no, I mean you're just saying what you want, man. That's
Yeah,
just
I'm
being
trying to
true.
think of other things I'd want. I don't know, but I can't believe it's already almost that time of year. We'll have E3 approaching us less than a month away from now.
Yeah.
The time that it's going up.
And hopefully we will live stream it instead of recording it.
Yay, that's
So
gonna be fun.
you have to stay tuned because after it's over, it's live stream podcast. So yeah, guys, please don't forget to favorite, rate, and subscribe. This has been Zyberpunky.
My name's Shinja.
And I'm Officer Dan, and I host a gameplay channel called Karibukai Play with Shinja, where we live stream throughout the week, especially Super Mario Maker every Friday at 11 p.m. Central Time.
Yeah. Please make sure to check us out and make sure to especially check out Cyber Station and make sure to leave a comment, leave a like, and subscribe to see more content. And we'll see you guys next time.
See you guys later.